Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you another Monster Legends video. After a week of not doing anything, I'm sorry I haven't really posted anything as of late. I just haven't really been in the mood to make videos. That's all there is really to it. There was no big thing in the way or anything like that. I just haven't really been in the mood to make videos for a week. You kind of have to be in the mood to make stuff. But anyway, I'm back. You came to learn of the 7 days event. How does it work and all that jazz? What does each monster do? I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you ways to do well in this event. You got 19 days, 16 hours, and 39 minutes and 50 just odd seconds that keep on moving down the clock. But yeah, let's get to it. I'm sorry this isn't done on the day, like when it just started. Again, I just wasn't in the mood to make stuff for an entire week. And hey, 7 deadly sins. It goes with the 7 days I didn't do anything. uh, uh, I don't feel like it. Yeah, I guess it's been like last time I checked the thing, it was like 7 weeks ago. So yeah, or at least the last time I posted stuff. So we're gonna talk about it. All right. So the first monster on the list is Sludger. All right, Rare. In all honesty, you can get this guy in the monster dungeons. It's an occasion you might see him. It's a rare thing. Obviously, it's a rare occasion you will see him, but you can just commonly get this guy by clearing a dungeon. His dungeon. He has his own dungeon. He's got a lot of AOE's. That's the neat thing about him. And he can do AoE shields. I'd say he's probably a really bulky rare. If you can get up on a lot of these guys, or at least clear a lot of the dungeons with these guys, you can have a pretty sturdy rare. It's a pretty beginner sturdy rare monster. It's all right. It's all right if you can get a bunch of them and rank them up. It works really well. Nvidia. Nvidia is the new epic monster for this maze. I mean, just a maze event, or it's the one every maze event they have a new epic monster, and this guy's the new epic. How good is Nvidia? Not that great. His main idea is to do AoE poisoning and AoE stamina leak. Personally, I don't see this too great. Because you can use other things. There's too many other epic rares you could use, and the next epic rare is actually 1,000 times better than this one. Everancy. I don't know if I Everani. Everani. Or Everane. Sorry if I'm butchering the names. But anyway, yeah, this is a better one. Basically, what she does is she has an insta kill, lifesteal. I don't remember if she has an AoE, but she's sustainable. The main idea is she's sustainable and she can do an insta kill. She has an insta kill move, and then the next, I think it's like a 4 turn. Like after 4 turns, the monster just up and dies. It just does. There's no way of avoiding it. Personally, I'd kind of make this guy an extra build monster if you could. Or just something really tanky, because the main idea is it's just for the instant death, the instant win with this monster, or at least that's the idea. You have to have a pretty sturdy team, I will say, to take advantage of the instant death move. You're more so kind of stalling than you are just trying to straight up kill them. So just stalling for just straight up 4 turns. That's the main idea with this spider monster. Laisha, the first legendary for this event that you may obtain. How great is she? I will say she's a great beginner possessor. If you're just starting out the game and you don't really get a good idea what possessors do, this is a good starting one. She only has single target possessions. Excuse me. There have been other monsters that are better at possessing nowadays. Nishon's pet specifically, I think, just outranks or just has went up. It's far above this monster. The trick with this one is that she has, like with the 2 possessions that she does have. One's a single target possession with a damage boost thing for that enemy, so they can do more damage to their partners. The second one is a damage reduction, 2-turn damage reduction, but you own that monster for 2 turns. So she has a 2-turn possession skill. Again, a great starting monster to possess. She has single target stun and a single target daze too, so that kind of goes hand in hand with the damage reduction. Beyond that, though, not too great of skills. But yeah, that's again a good beginner monster. She's all right to start out with. If you get more stuff as you go on, you have better options than using this monster. But a great beginner monster nonetheless. Pergrido. Okay, so we got to the first new legendary monster for this event. There's like, I think there's one, two, three, four. There's four new legendary monsters. There might be a special monster during this event, like they did in the Zodiac Maze. You could have gotten Bastet. I don't know what the special monster for this event is. Like, it's a hidden path, whatever they call it, where they, at some point, they bring out a special monster. They started doing that since the Zodiac Maze. They might do it again for this one. So kind of just save up your gold till you see that path. And again, only ever move on discount times as the first step. In all honesty, this is the first step if you want to do well in maze events. Wait for discount times. I don't care what time. Don't care what time it is. Always move on discount time. Unless it's like, okay, so unless you're doing the the hidden maze and you have missed the you missed both discount times. Then you have to move the special monster in order to get them. It's actually like the last one was like about an epic price. At least to move it, it was about like 2,000 something coins. Cheap. It was actually fairly cheap in terms of coinage. So if you do miss out on discount times, if you miss out on both discount times on that day, you should totally move to get that monster. But that's the only time you should ever move without a discount time. That's the only instance. Unless you just straight up missed every other discount time, then that's the only time you should not be moving on a discount time. But at all times, you should be moving on discount times. I don't care what day it is. You should totally be moving only when it's on a discount time. That's how you get a lot of monsters in the event, at least most of them. Now back to this thing, Pergrido. Pergrido is immune to possession, and he's really slow. He's sloth. He represents sloth as in being slow, lazy, kind of like what I've been doing with, just posting videos today. I mean, not this day, this, week, I haven't posted anything. People get lazy. He represents laziness. And his move is actually relating to laziness. In fact, this monster is unique in the fact that he can make everyone's cooldowns low. I mean, like he starts everyone's cooldowns. He's like a Timeron, essentially a very slow, heavy hitting Timeron that's bulky. He's like a wad of meat that just lumps around and makes everybody lazy. He's kind of like the lazy guy. He makes everybody's lazy. He's like, hey. It's like, oh, hey, what's up? I was like, hey, do you want to fight right now? And it's like, talking to you, I kind of don't. Hey, you just want to chill for a while? Okay, that's cool. That's this monster. He makes everybody chill. That's the kind of the main sell point. I think that a lot of people argue, like, really, the main thing they won't like about this monster is the fact he is slow. He's got 3,200 something speed. Thankfully, he's not 2,900. Just be thankful he's not as slow as an Oros. I don't know how many people in terms of the higher scene will use this thing. Probably won't even use it just because it's just too slow for them to be able to use. But I can imagine, like, new to middle class love this thing. Because of the cooldown resets. It's a really powerful. To reset the moves, move counter for all of the opponent's moves. The cooldowns setting them to like 0, or they have to wait that some odd turns depending on what the move is. Like 3 turns, 4 turns. That's a powerful thing to do, and especially powerful if you can combo that with deny. Or even use it after deny. You could do that too, or just prevent just whenever you can, really, I guess, to prevent them from doing AoE shields. I will say this is a huge thing against Atum in terms of like Atum's protection moves and his AoE deny. If you can deny Atum first and then use Pergrido's AoE, move and removal, cooldown resets, I think that's strong. That's really strong. Beyond that, he also does self-healing. He also has a self-heal that also gives life regen. In all honesty, in terms of a rune set build, I'd do 2 speeds and a life rune. He's not really there to win right away. He's lazy, you shouldn't, like, when you look at this guy, you shouldn't really plan on winning right away. He's lazy. He's meant to sit there. He's meant to watch. I think that's kind of his playstyle. You may do 2 speeds and a strength if you so wished. That's just kind of my rune suggestion for right now. I'm going to do a guide on him later, obviously. But this guy, in a simplest sense, he's unique. I think a lot of these monsters in this event specifically are unique. They all come with a price of their skill sets, and I think it's interesting. It's like they do this, but they do this. This happens in return, so they have a price for their power. I think for some of them. For Pergrido, he has the power to make everybody lazy, but he takes that back in the sense that he's slow. He takes time to do his stuff. Pretty good natural hitter too. He's got like a zero. I think he had like a 0 turn cooldown. No, I think it was like 2 turns actually for two turn 65 damage, or it was like 0 turn. I can't remember, but it's pretty nice. He's got a few nice things about him. Avarita. This next monster is the 6th monster you may get in the event. He's a metal monster, and I think he personally is my favorite one. Not just in terms of just design wise, he's my favorite one, and he's really unique. I like the fact he's unique. He's unique. He's not really OP. Some might even consider him garbage. He's unique. I don't think it's fair to just straight up call him garbage. I think he's unique. And it is kind of hard to use, but he's unique. So here's what Avarita does. Avarita basically can do. He runs on fairly low cooldowns too, in terms of move set. Here's what he does. He gives and takes. That's a weird thing to say, but he also pays back later. He gives, he takes, and he gives back later. But he also takes back what he gave, if that makes any sense. Basically, one of his moves, it does a healing, but it takes away your stamina. It's a 30% heal and minus 20% of your stamina for everybody. It's an AoE deal. Everybody gains 30% life, everybody loses 20% stamina. And the other AoE move he has gives him 30% stamina, but it takes 20% life. He's always taking back what he gave, and he's always giving what he took originally. So he's kind of swip swapping. He's a swip swapper. A lot of people might think that's garbage. I think it's really unique. I think you should give him a few chances. Play around with the rune sets a bit. Personally, for me, looking at the playstyle of it, I'd do 2 speeds and a life for this one. No, he's also really great in the fact he can remove positive effects and he can remove negative effects from your allies. I think he's the first monster. He might be the first monster in the game that has remove positive and removes negatives on a single move. That's a powerful thing he is capable of. Essentially, he can take off double damage. He can take off any kind of regeneration buff the enemy might have, and you can remove anything you are currently under, like burning or like dazing or poison. If you're like really heavy on like status effects right now, he can remove that. I think that's a great thing. He's a really neat monster. I think one of his hugest problems though is he's immune to magnetism. Not too great of a trait. In fact, it's terrible. I'm going to be pretty honest with you. It's a terrible trait. It's the equivalent of having attuned. It's not relevant in any case. It's great to be immune to possibility of being hit with a super effective hit, but you know it's a stupid trait. Trust me. I'm going to name mine Jar Jar Binks. I'm interested to know what. But you're going to name your Avarita. But again, this is my favorite one. I like how unique this guy is. He's got a unique play style. He's got a great design. And again, I'm going to name mine Jar Jar Binks. Yes, a reference to Star Wars. I just think that'd be a glorious name for this monster in terms of naming. Vanitas. Vanitas. Words. Vanitas. This is an interesting monster. Everybody's pretty much calling him Galante or Galante 2.0 or like the Galante copycat, and he kind of does look like that monster. In all honesty, they kind of just it kind of had, because they're both magic monsters. They're both kind of like gentlemanly monsters. I think this one though is he's gentlemanly, but he's also kind of a dick. he's Dick Galante. We'll call him that. Yeah, I guess I should have said clean on that one, but you know, he's a jerk. This guy is the brother of Nvidia here, and he's just a real jerk. He's happy that he's happy to cause his brother misery. He's kind of a jerk. He's a real jerk, actually. He's not kind of a jerk. He is a jerk. His moves pertain around himself. I mean, like he's like, oh, look at me, I'm pretty, or something like that. Kind of those references of moves. He's kind of, I think he's like the Pride. He might be the Pride monster. Avarita's Progredo is Sloth. This guy, I think, is Pride. He takes pride in himself, and his brother is the envious of his pride. He's jealous of it. So what Vanitas does, he's a magic attacker with the ability to do mirror for 3 turns at the cost of burning himself. And I don't think that's too much of a price. It's kind of hard to enjoy it though because he is the attacker. He's the one that's supposed to be doing damage. You can put. I highly recommend the extra guy build for if you do put that move on him. It's his unique move. But in all sense, a damage build is probably just alright. Personally, I'd use other magic attackers. I'm not too fond of this one. I think this is my least favorite one, to be perfectly honest. It is really nice though that he is capable of mirror, and for 3 turns, I think that's powerful in the sense you can reflect AOE stuff. I'm not 100% sure. I think you can reflect AOEs. I think that's a thing. I was always too unsure. I don't know if like everybody had to have mirror in order to reflect AOEs, but I always feel like if you do an AOE and someone does have mirror on them, it reflects it right back. So I think that it's a helping hand kind of deal. It kind of helps your allies too. Test it out. I will say once you get this guy, test it out. See if like the AOE freeze is reflected back at the enemy. You should totally try that. I think that's a tryable thing you should totally do. And now we're getting to the last monster in the event, Rabies. Rabies is the most self-destructive monster in the entire game. You would think like nothing could be Dharma's pet in terms of this like self-hurting. In terms of like that ultimate where he just blows himself up. No, this guy this guy hurts himself. This guy hurts himself a lot. You think, I guess Barbatos too. You'd rather think Barbatos or like Razul. No one could ever top them in self-harm. This guy just goes over the edge in terms of self-harming themselves. Everything this guy does hurts him. Like essentially, like one of his moves, like bleed. It's like not on the enemy, on himself. He does he burns himself, he bleeds himself, a lot of very unhealthy things, but he does that. I guess in the trade-off for that, he does a lot of damage. That's kind of his main deal. He also does % damage to himself. So yeah, this guy is the last monster, and I'm really happy because I'm not too sure if this guy's all that great. He does have the triple damage. He does a lot of, in terms of single target damage, this guy hits hard. That's kind of the thing with him. He hits hard at the price of him hurting himself, and really hard too. Things to help this guy, I think Sarah is his best partner in terms of removing burning. You gotta be able to remove burn, or just like anything that clears negative effects, to be honest. So I think Avarita is a partner for him. I think in all honesty, in terms of in terms of rabies and stuff like that, for partners, that I think Avarita is kind of helpful for him. If you are in that kind of a situation where you do need to heal, like if you're in a situation with like Metalhead and another fire monster, which would probably be a Dartmouth, it would be kind of a good idea to bring Avarita with that 2 speeds in a life and that rabies. You kind of want to do the extra guy build with rabies, in all honesty. I don't think he needs to be too tanked up on strength runes, because he does hold the triple damage. So I think a life rune build, or maybe you could even do 2 lives and a speed. You can just kind of play around with it, but you can, again, you can take advantage of some of the perks of running this monster. He can also make things weak to fire, which is huge because he has a 70 damage single target move. It does a lot of damage. You should just keep in mind that it's again, he can apply self-harm to him. You might want something, maybe like instead of Avarita, if you have other options you may run if you don't have Avarita, you can run things that just naturally remove negative effects. It's like a spammable one, because I think that would help him a lot if you could just constantly remove his negative stuff before it's his turn again. I think that's the key to play him, really. But yeah, he's also really brittle. He's got like 25 hit points. I mean, not 25 hit points, 25,000, I'm sorry, 25k. In all honesty, this is a really high-risk player. If you're really looking for something new, something risky, this is your guy. This is the risky taker. He's also the most expensive one of the maze. So pretty much in order to get this guy, you gotta pretty much forget everybody else on this list in terms of monsters. So in terms of liking between the new monsters, and in terms of favoritism, I like Avarita for first. I like Pregito. Words. Pregito. I might call him Pringles, or Pringles. Pringles. I might call him that. I don't know. The chips. But yeah, I like him second. I like Rabies third. I like Vanitas last. I just really don't like this guy. I really don't like this guy. In terms of like the just design wise, I don't like him. I just don't. All these other monsters though look really cool. I really like that. And I think they have interesting players. It's new. A lot of people, I think a lot of people are going to think these monsters are just trash. Uh, I really don't think that. You shouldn't really think of them as trash. I think you should think of them as something new. You can do different styles of play with each of these monsters. Just give them a chance. Try something new. I highly recommend that. Try them. Just try them. So yeah, we're going to go down to the prices for each one. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. They dumbed down the price, so now it's only 12K. It used to be 15K for the longest of time. So they kind of went back on the price. Okay, so it's not impossible anymore. I guess if you're just spot on all the time now. Alright, that's interesting. Because originally you'd have to have like 50,000 for the longest of time in order to get every single monster in the event. So it seems like they're bringing it back to normal now. It seems like it anyway, where you can honestly do this stuff in this time span given, really. They give you like 21 days to do this event. I think that might be doable, in all honesty. If you do all the events, if you do clear all the coin dungeons, which is the suggestion I'm going to do, I give you guys. I think this is doable, and if you started from the beginning and you've been going on through and through, you might be able to get every single monster in the event. All right, so Sludger is in order to get Sludger, it's 245 coins. Again, this isn't like the discount price. Don't be fooled by that. This isn't really the discount price. It's just the natural price you will pay to get this monster. Just keep that in mind. This is natural price just for this monster alone. So for Sludger, you need 245 coins. For Nvidia, it's 1,485. You do need to move the monsters to get the keys. You have to get keys in order to play their path, which is bothersome. Pergredo is the only one that doesn't have a key path in terms of new legendary monsters. You just have to find his path first. Ivarani is 2,625. Leisha is 3,945. 4,665 for Pergredo, 5,530 for Avarita. I'm kind of down about this because that just means I'm not going to be able to get him for the longest of time. I'm probably going to be able to get this guy like halfway through the event, and that's kind of bothersome because I really want to use this guy. I want to do a few different build comp ideas for Avarita. In all honesty, going back to Avarita in terms of like the skill set real quick, you might find like the fact he takes stuff back literally like, oh, it's not that great if he takes stuff away from me. To compensate for that, you can build around that. In all honesty, you can build monsters that go well with that. Let's say you don't like the fact that you remove stamina. One way to solve that is actually just using Kalik. You can use stamina regen and you have that back. It's not too hard to, fix it, in all honesty. If you have Thetes, you can fully stamina heal that. In all honesty, this also helps. I think he'll help really great. I think he'll go really well with Thetes. I think that's another partner, too, that he could go with, because he can refill the stamina, and then she can do her AoE stamina refill. Then Avarita can heal, can heal and combos really well, I think. I personally think that. There's a lot of combo potentials you may do. I think that's just one of them. Going back to this, but yeah, 5,530. It's gonna be a long time before I get that. Vanitas is 8,060 coins for natural price. That's just, again, this is just for their path alone. It doesn't mean the combined total of just natural points. If you wanted to legitimately, just straight up calculate how much it's going to take to get a specific monster. You should also determine I'm going to actually say don't determine it by this price. Determine if you just wanted to get a specific monster, you don't need to move a monster all the way to get the keys. In all honesty, you can probably just skip Nvidia, just get his coins and then be done with it. I don't personally, in my opinion, it's not a good beginner epic anyway, so you can completely skip out on them and get the keys and move on to the, get the other keys and stuff like that. Just be mindful of that. But you can calculate the the natural price of each one. If you're just literally not gonna do discount time, I highly recommend discount time. Rabies for the final price is 12,020. coins. So a grand total of 38,575 coins for this event. It might be possible if you just literally started all the way in the beginning and you've been solid through and through. I think this is doable. I think this, in terms of coinage, this is doable. I think in terms, yeah, it's totally doable. You might not be able to, but you might. It's a might. It depends on how thorough you are with this event. So yeah, tips for doing well in this event. Move on discount times. That's the number one move. Words. Number one rule: move on discount times. Never not move on a discount time. Oh, hey, if you also wanted to know where a specific monster is at, this is the board. So if you move the spider lady, you can move her all the way down, and at some point you can get to Progredo. That's just kind of a quick thing real quick. But yeah, back to tips. Number one rule: move on discount time. Don't ever move on anything else unless you miss literally every single discount time. There's no excuse for not moving on a discount time. Always move on a discount time. That's how you get every monster in the event. In terms of a doable case, and this is a doable case, so you should always move on a discount. On a discount time. Second rule, for how to succeed in this event: breed a Thunder Eagle times a Thunder Eagle. It's a common monster you can buy in the shop. I don't know how much it costs in terms of coinage, but it's a doable thing for beginners. You should totally invest your time in doing that. Every 4 hours, breed a Thunder Eagle times a Thunder Eagle. Hatch that, you get 50 coins. You get every 4 hours. You pretty much have to just log in every 4 hours to get your coins. So what you do is you breed a Thunder Eagle times a Thunder Eagle. Wait 4 hours. Hatch that. Put that in the hatchery. You get your 50 coins. You sell the egg. Sell the egg too. You get another 50 coins, then you just do it all over again. Essentially, once you've done once you hatch the first one, you put it in the hatchery, then you start another Thunder Eagle times Thunder Eagle. After 4 hours, you get that 50 coins. You pretty much get 100 coins every 4 hours specifically for the hatchery stuff. Then a bunch of coins for the other tasks you do between gathering food, gathering gold, and feeding food to your monsters. Always do that every 4 hours. Don't do it any other time. Every 4 hours. I'm just kind of tapping my finger on the desk there, and computer. I mean, but yeah, that's how you succeed in the 7 Deadly Sins event. Guides for these monsters will be out. I'm not going to give a specific date because it's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't posted anything lately, but I'll get to that. I'll put that in an explanation video why I haven't been doing anything for a week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the 7 Deadly Sins event. Overall, I like this event. I think it brings new stuff to the table. Is it big meta game changers? No. Is it fun stuff? Absolutely. I think a lot of these new monsters are fun. All these monsters that are in the event, I think they're really fun. You can be creative with the comps with these monsters. Try different stuff. I think these monsters encourage new kinds of gameplay, in all honesty, or at least different comps. I think that's a cool thing. And yeah, guides will be out whenever for these monsters. I hope you guys enjoyed this maze video. I'm Dib the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.